Can I do cats and CBD? I sure can. And because the research is so sparse, instead of just showing you pictures of boring paper titles, I'll make it pictures of cats. I think this one wants to eat me.
I'm Lex Pelger. I do can education for CV Sciences, the makers of Plus CBD, who has an excellent line of flavored and unflavored pet products. I also have a cat named Milo. This is his chair. I would show him to you, but why would a cat show up on time for filming?
As I said in that last video on dogs, if you go to CVResearch.info, the dogs and cats page, there is, I think, as far as I can find, everything that's ever been done on dogs and cats is collected there for you. I'll start with the most practical study I've ever seen, and it came out just this week. I highlighted it in my Cannabinoids and the People newsletter on Substack that CV Sciences sponsors. And it turns out, in healthy cats, you can increase the bioavailability of CBD by up to 10 times by giving it to them 30 minutes after a meal. So instead of waiting for your cat to be hungry when you give them the CBD, give them CBD after they eat, and you're going to get a lot more CBD into their system. That study also gave good dosing instructions, which are hard to find. And they recommended that if you were trying to treat your cat for epilepsy, they would start with 5 milligrams per kilogram. One thing to know is that there's something called feline cognitive dysfunction, which is something that happens to the brains of aging cats. And it's actually used as a model for Alzheimer's in humans. And so we have a review article from 2020 about using CBD for this brain aging of cats and how it helps. There's also a great case study where a cat had osteoarthritis, probably from being too cute, and 30 days of full-spectrum cannabis oil helped them with their osteoarthritis. You also have a study where the CB1 receptors of the bladder help with the neuromodulation of bladder overactivity. And it speaks to the question, where are the cannabinoid receptors located? And there are a number of studies finding cannabinoid receptors all over different organ systems of cats, just like you find cannabinoid receptors on virtually every organ of the human body as well. Overall, the endocannabinoid system in cats is very similar to ours because it's such a evolutionarily shared system. It goes far, far back into life, and as close as we are to cats in terms of evolution, our endocannabinoid system is quite similar. Finally, what about safety for our feline friends? Luckily, you'll find a number of studies about CBD that showed even high levels of CBD not causing an adverse effect besides limited behavioral changes that seemed related to taste. And also, we hear about things like loose stools or sleepiness. And really, you just need to watch your cat and see what works for them and dial it down if it seems like it's a little bit too much. But overall, the safety is there, and as long as you know how to work with your cat, you might be able to find a lot of help with CBD.